Some of you woke up today already feeling defeated. Before your feet even hit the floor, you were battling thoughts like, I can't do this. I'm not enough. What's the point? But let me remind you, your mind is the battlefield where victory is won or lost. An unbreakable mindset doesn't happen by accident. It's built brick by brick, thought by thought, decision. So today I want to give you 5 daily practices that will make your mindset so strong that nothing, no setback, no struggle, no attack from the enemy can break you. 1, speak life over yourself. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what the enemy has whispered in your ear. You are the one who sets the atmosphere in your mind. You either let your thoughts control you or you take control of your thought. Every morning, stand up and declare, I am strong, I am chosen, I am built for this. Say it until you believe it. Say it until it drowns out every lie trying to pull you down. 2, train your focus. What you focus on will grow. If all you see is problems, then problems will multiply. But if you focus on purpose, if you focus on what God is doing, then even in the hardest moments, you will find strength. You don't have time to waste scrolling through negativity, feeding your spirit with doubt, or comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel. Fix your focus. Stay locked in on the calling God placed on your life. 3, move in discipline, not feelings. Feelings are real, but they are not your leader. If you only move when you feel motivated, you'll never go anywhere. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation runs out. Even on the days you don't feel like it, show up. Even when you don't see results yet, stay faithful, because breakthrough doesn't come to the ones who wait for perfect conditions. It comes to the ones who move. 4, surround yourself with the right people. Your mindset is shaped by the voices around you. If you surround yourself with complainers, guess what? You'll start complaining. If you listen to fear, fear will rule your decisions. But when you surround yourself with people who push you forward, who remind you of who you are and whose you are, then even in your weakest moments, you won't fall because you have people holding you up. 5, trust the process. I need you to hear me. Just because you don't see the progress doesn't mean God isn't working. Just because you don't feel strong doesn't mean you aren't getting. Some of you are about to quit and you don't even realize you're standing on the edge of your breakthrough. An unbreakable mindset is not built in one day. It's built daily, in the small choices, in the hidden battles, in the moments where nobody sees you pressing forward, but heaven is cheering you on. So today I challenge you, don't just hear this, live this. Speak life, focus right, move in discipline, find your people, trust the process, because the mind that is set can't be shaken, and a mindset that is unbreakable will take you all the way to victory. Are you ready to build it? Then let's go. Words have power, more power than you realize. The words you speak over yourself shape the way you see your life, your struggles, and your future. Some people wake up every morning already speaking defeat into their day. Before they've even taken a step out of bed, they're saying things like, I'm so tired, I don't think I can do this, or it's just going to be another one of those days. And then they wonder why nothing ever changes. They wonder why they always feel like they're fighting an uphill battle. But what if the battle isn't just what's happening around them? What if it's the words they are using to describe their situation? Your words are either building your faith or feeding your fear. They are either lifting you up or tearing you down. And the most dangerous words aren't the ones spoken by others. They are the ones you speak to yourself. The enemy doesn't have to do much if you've already convinced yourself that you aren't capable, that you aren't strong enough, that you'll never be good enough. The real fight is not just in what happens to you, but in what you tell yourself about what's happening to you. Think about it. The same situation can happen to 2 different people, and one will rise while the other will crumble. Not because one had it easier, but because of how they framed it. One person says, this is too hard, I can't handle this. The other says, this is tough, but I was made for this. You see the difference? One is already defeated before the fight even begins. The other is preparing for victory. The situation didn't change, the mindset did. You have to train yourself to speak life even when life doesn't feel like it's cooperating. You have to make it a habit to declare what is true even when your feelings try to convince you otherwise. Because your feelings will lie to you. Your emotions will tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough, that you don't have what it takes. But feelings are temporary. They come and go. The truth is what stands. And the truth is, you are stronger than you think. You have been created with resilience inside of you. You have already survived things you once thought would break you. You have already overcome battles that seemed impossible at the time. So why do you doubt yourself now? Why do you let your own words hold you back from stepping into the strength you already have? If you don't like where your life is heading, check the words you're speaking. If you are constantly talking about what you lack, you will always speaking about your limitations. You will never push past them. But if you start speaking faith, even before you see the results, everything shifts. Instead of saying, I don't think I can do this, you start saying, I may not see it yet, but I am capable. Instead of saying, I always fail, you start saying, I'm learning and growing. Instead of saying, I'll never get through this, you start declaring, this is tough, but I am tougher. The way you speak to yourself matters more than any motivational speech, more than any outside encouragement. It's the words you say in the quiet moments that will determine whether you rise or fall. And it's not just about pretending everything is okay. It's not about fake positivity. It's about choosing to align your words with the truth of who you are and what you are capable of, even when you don't feel like it. Every time you speak life over yourself, you are reinforcing strength in your spirit. You are training your mind to focus on what is possible instead of what is impossible. You are rewiring the way you approach challenges. You are building a foundation that won't crumble under pressure. Think about the most successful, unshakable people you know. They aren't the ones who never face hardship. They are the ones who refuse to let hardship define them. They are the ones who, when faced with obstacles, speak resilience instead of retreat. They are the ones who, when knocked down, don't waste time complaining. They get back up and keep moving. What if you started doing the same? What if, instead of repeating the same old self-defeating thoughts, you made a decision right now to shift the way you speak? What if, no matter what came your way, you committed to responding with words that build you up instead of words that tear you down? It's a choice, a daily one. You won't always feel like it. You won't always wake up with confidence, but that's exactly when you need to speak life the most. Not just when you feel strong, but especially when you feel weak. Because the words you choose in those moments will determine whether you stay stuck or rise above. What you focus on will grow. Your mind is like a magnifying glass. Whatever you direct it toward becomes bigger in your life. If you focus on problems, they will overwhelm you. If you focus on fear, it will consume you. But if you train your focus on purpose, progress, and potential, you will find a way to rise above every challenge. The battle for your mindset isn't just about what happens to you. It's about what you choose to focus on in the middle of it. Most people don't realize how much control they have over their focus. They assume that whatever thoughts come into their mind are just automatic, like they have no choice but to entertain them. But the truth is, you have the power to direct your focus. You decide what gets your attention, and whatever has your attention is what will shape your mindset. If you let distractions, negativity, and worry dominate your focus, they will drain your energy and leave you feeling stuck. But if you shift your focus toward growth, solutions, and what is in your control, you will move forward no matter what obstacles come your way. Every single day, you are being pulled in 100 different directions. Social media, news, other people's opinions, stress from work, personal struggles. There's always something fighting for your attention. And if you don't take control of your focus, the world will decide for you. It will fill your mind with distractions. It will weigh you down with unnecessary worries. It will make you feel like you are constantly behind, constantly missing out, constantly not enough. But you don't have to live like that. You don't have to let your focus be hijacked by things that don't serve your purpose. The key to training your focus is intentionality. You can't just hope that your mind will stay on the right things. You have to be deliberate about what you allow in. What are you feeding your mind? What kind of content are you consuming daily? Are you filling your mind with things that inspire and strengthen you, or are you constantly exposing yourself to negativity and comparison? Your focus is like a garden. If you plant the right seeds, you will grow the right things. But if you allow weeds of doubt, fear, and distraction to take over, they will choke out your growth before it even begins. It's easy to say you want to have a strong mindset, but it takes discipline to guard your focus. It means saying no to distractions, even when they are entertaining. It means turning away from negativity, even when everyone else is indulging in it. It means being aware of where your thoughts go when you are feeling discouraged and making a conscious effort to shift them toward solutions instead of staying stuck in the problem. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about choosing to direct your focus toward things that empower you instead of things that drain you. Some people spend their entire lives focused on what they can't control. They complain about things they have no power over. They waste time worrying about what others think of them. They stay stuck in regret, replaying past mistakes instead of focusing on what they can do differently now. But the ones who build an unbreakable mindset are the ones who refuse to let their focus be dictated by circumstances. They discipline themselves to focus on what they can control, their actions, their attitude, their responses, their effort. They don't waste time dwelling on things they can't change because they are too busy working on the things they can. One of the biggest threats to your focus is comparison. Nothing will steal your energy and confidence faster than constantly looking at what everyone else is doing. And when you compare yourself to others, you shift your focus away from your own growth and onto someone else's journey. And the problem with that is you are comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their struggles, their setbacks, their doubts. You only see the finished product, and it makes you feel like you're falling behind. But you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. The only thing you need to focus on is your path, your progress, and what you are doing to move forward. If you want to train your focus, you have to learn how to shut out the noise. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every distraction deserves your time. When you start being intentional about where you place your focus, you will realize how much energy you were wasting on things that didn't matter. You will start to see progress in areas where you once felt stuck. You will begin to develop a mindset that is unshakable because you are no longer letting external circumstances dictate your inner world. Your focus determines your direction. Where you set your mind is where your life will go. If you are constantly focusing on what's wrong, your life will feel like a series of problems. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, on growth, on gratitude, on progress, you will find a way to rise no matter what comes against you. It won't always be easy. There will be days when your mind tries to wander back to fear, back to worry, back to the old habits of focusing on what could go wrong. But every time that happens, you have a choice. You can either let your focus be controlled by circumstances, or you can take control of your focus and fix it on what moves you forward. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Too many people wait until they feel like doing something before they take action, but feelings are unreliable. Feelings fluctuate. One day you're motivated, the next day you're not. One moment you're excited about your goals, the next moment doubt creeps in. If you rely on feelings to determine your actions, you'll always be inconsistent. But when you move in discipline, not feelings, you take control of your life instead of letting your emotions dictate your direction. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up, days when you don't feel like putting in the work, days when your mind tells you it's okay to quit, to take it easy, to back down. And those are the moments that separate the people who make progress from the people who stay stuck. Because the ones who move in discipline understand that success is not built on convenience, it's built on commitment. Most people admire the results of discipline, but they don't always want to embrace the process. They see someone who is successful and think, I wish I had that kind of motivation. But motivation didn't get them there. Discipline did. Motivation might get you started, but it won't keep you going when things get hard. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when the excitement wears off. It's what makes you wake up and do what needs to be done, even when every part of you wants to stay comfortable. You don't build strength in the moments when everything is easy. You build strength in the moments when you push past resistance. Every time you act in discipline instead of feelings, you are training yourself to become stronger, more resilient, and more unstoppable. Every time you choose to do what needs to be done instead of what feels good in the moment, you are proving to yourself that you are in control of your actions, not your emotions. Think about any area of your life where you want to grow. Maybe it's your career, your health, your mindset, or your relationships. Growth in any of those areas requires consistent effort. And consistency is impossible if you only take action when you feel like it. The people who succeed in anything aren't the ones who are always in the mood to work hard. They are the ones who have trained themselves to show up no matter what. They don't ask themselves if they feel like doing it, they just do it. Discipline is about making decisions based on who you want to become, not based on how you feel in the moment. If you make choices based on temporary emotions, you will always find excuses to stay the same. You'll tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I have more energy. I'll wait until I'm in a better mood. But tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month, and before you know it, you're still in the same place wondering why nothing has changed. Your habits shape your future. The little things you do every single day are what determine where you end up. You don't suddenly become disciplined overnight. You build discipline by repeatedly choosing the hard thing over the easy thing, the necessary thing over the comfortable thing. And the more you do it, the stronger you become. Most people quit too soon because they expect to feel motivated all the time. But discipline means showing up even when motivation is nowhere to be found. It means pushing through the days when you're tired, when you're uninspired, when the progress feels slow. It means making a commitment to yourself and sticking to it even when nobody is watching. The reason discipline is so powerful is that it removes emotion from the equation. Instead of constantly battling with yourself about whether or not you should take action, you just do it. There's no debate, no negotiation, no excuses. You set a standard for yourself and you follow through. Every time you push past the temptation to give up, you strengthen your ability to keep going. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. And over time, that belief becomes unshakable. You stop questioning whether or not you have what it takes because you've already proven it to yourself over and over again. The most successful people in any field aren't necessarily the most talented. They aren't the luckiest. They are simply the ones who have mastered the ability to show up consistently no matter what. They don't let feelings decide their future. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't rely on bursts of motivation. They build habits that keep them moving forward even on the hard days. If you want to change your life, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the right mood, the right circumstances, the right motivation. Start moving in discipline. Show up when you don't feel like it. Do the work when it's inconvenient. Keep going when nobody is cheering you on, because discipline, not feelings, is what builds the kind of mindset that can't be broken. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset more than you realize. You might think you're strong enough to stay positive, stay disciplined, stay focused, no matter who's around you. But the truth is, your environment has a powerful influence on your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately your future. You cannot build an unbreakable mindset while constantly surrounding yourself with people who drain your energy, fill your mind with doubt, or keep you locked in the same patterns you're trying to break. If you want to level up, you have to evaluate who's in your circle. Look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they pushing you to grow, or are they keeping you stuck? Are they speaking life into you, or are they constantly filling your head with negativity? Do they challenge you to be better, or do they make it easy for you to stay comfortable? Because whether you realize it or not, the people closest to you are shaping the way you think, the way you see yourself, and the way you approach life. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your environment. If you are constantly surrounded by people who complain, you will find yourself complaining more. If you are always around people who make excuses, it won't be long before you start making excuses too. But if you are surrounded by people who are driven, focused, and disciplined, their energy will push you to be the same. If you're around people who believe in themselves and go after their goals with relentless determination, you will start to adopt that same mindset. It's not just about avoiding negative people. It's about intentionally surrounding yourself with the right people, the people who challenge you, the people who inspire you, the people who call you out when you're playing small, the people who refuse to let you settle for less than you're capable of. If you are the most motivated person in your circle, you need a new circle. You need to be around people who stretch your thinking, who push you to new levels, who force you to step up and become better. One of the biggest mistakes people make is holding on to relationships that no longer align with their growth. They stay connected to people out of loyalty, out of habit, out of fear of being alone. But sometimes the very thing holding you back isn't your circumstances, it's your circle. If you have people in your life who constantly pull you into drama, who discourage you from pursuing your goals, who make you feel like you have to shrink yourself to fit in, it might be time to reevaluate those relationships. Growth requires separation. Sometimes, in order to step into your next level, you have to distance yourself from anything and anyone that is keeping you tied to the past. It's not about cutting people off with anger or bitterness. It's about recognizing that not everyone is meant to go with you where you're headed. Some people were part of your journey for a season, but that season has ended. And if you keep holding on to what's comfortable, you'll never make room for what's next. If you want to build a strong mindset, you have to be intentional about who you allow to influence you. That means seeking out mentors, surrounding yourself with people who are ahead of you, learning from those who have already achieved what you're working toward. It means putting yourself in environments where growth is the norm, where success is expected, where discipline and focus are valued. Because the more you expose yourself to that kind of mindset, the more it will become your own. Sometimes you won't have the right people around you yet, and that's okay. You might be in a season where you have to walk alone for a while. But even in those seasons, you can still control what influences you. You can read books that challenge your thinking. You can listen to podcasts that inspire you. You can follow people who embody the kind of mindset you want to develop. Just because you don't have the right circle yet doesn't mean you have to settle for a toxic one. You can create an environment of growth even before you have the people to match it. Your mindset is too valuable to be shaped by negativity, by small thinking, by people who don't believe in your potential. If you want to go to the next level, you have to be willing to let go of anything and anyone that is keeping you small. You have to surround yourself with the right people, because who you walk with will determine where you end up. Gratitude is a mindset that changes everything. It's not just about saying thank you when something good happens. It's about training yourself to see the good even when things aren't going your way. Most people wait until they feel grateful to express gratitude, but gratitude isn't just an emotion, it's a discipline. It's a choice you make every single day, regardless of your circumstance. It's easy to be grateful when everything is going well, but real gratitude is tested in the moments when life isn't working in your favor. Your mind naturally wants to focus on what's missing, what's wrong, what's frustrating. That's just how the brain is wired. It looks for problems, for threats, for things that need to be fixed. And if you're not careful, you will spend your entire life focused on what you don't have instead of what you do. You'll constantly be looking ahead to the next thing, thinking, I'll be happy when I get there. But the problem with that mindset is that there never comes. As soon as you get the thing you thought would make you happy, your mind moves on to the next thing, and suddenly what you once prayed for becomes what you take for granted. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It forces you to stop chasing what's next and start appreciating what's now. It reminds you that even in the middle of challenges, there is something to be thankful for. Even in the struggle, there is still progress being made. Even in the waiting, there is still purpose. When you choose gratitude, you take control of your perspective instead of letting your circumstances dictate your mindset. Some people think gratitude is just about being thankful for the big things, the promotion, the opportunity, the breakthrough. But real gratitude is found in the small things. It's in the moments that most people overlook. Waking up with breath in your lungs, having people in your life who care about you, the ability to learn, to grow, to try again. There are things you have today that you once hoped for. There are blessings in your life right now that you couldn't see before because you were too busy focusing on what was missing. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your struggles. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to find the good even in the hard moments. It means refusing to let negativity take over your mind. It means deciding that even if everything isn't the way you want it to be, you can still appreciate the progress you've made. You can still find reasons to be thankful. You can still recognize that you are further along than you used to be. One of the biggest enemies of gratitude is comparison. When you are constantly looking at what everyone else has, you lose sight of what you have. You start to think that what you have isn't enough. You start to believe that you're behind, that you're missing out, that you're not as successful as you should be. But gratitude breaks that cycle. It stops you from looking at everyone else's life and reminds you to appreciate your own. It helps you see that just because someone else is winning doesn't mean you're losing. It reminds you that your journey is unique and that there is something valuable in every step, even the ones that feel slow. Gratitude creates resilience. When life gets tough, most people start focusing on what's going wrong. They get caught up in the frustration, in the disappointment, in the feeling that things aren't working out the way they planned. And that mindset makes everything harder. But when you train yourself to practice gratitude, you build an unshakable foundation. You develop the ability to see past your struggles and recognize that even in difficulty, there is still something to be grateful for. That mindset keeps you strong. It keeps you moving forward. It stops you from falling into the trap of self-pity and instead pushes you to keep going. Gratitude also changes the way you approach challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, you start seeing them as opportunities. Instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? You start thinking, what can I learn from this? You stop seeing setbacks as failures and start seeing them as lessons. You begin to understand that even in the things that didn't work out, there was something valuable, something that made you stronger, something that taught you resilience, something that prepared you for what's next. When you live with gratitude, you stop waiting for external things to make you happy. You stop relying on circumstances to determine your mood. You stop depending on success, money, or recognition to give you a sense of fulfillment, because fulfillment isn't found in things. It's found in perspective. You can have everything in the world and still feel empty if you don't know how to appreciate it. But you can have very little and still feel rich if you know how to recognize the blessings in front of you. Gratitude also impacts the way you treat people. When you are constantly focused on what you don't have, you start resenting others for what they do have. You become more impatient, more irritable, more critical. But when you live with gratitude, it shifts your energy. It makes you more generous, more kind, more present. You stop focusing so much on yourself and start looking for ways to uplift others. You recognize that life isn't just about what you can get, it's about what you can give. People who live with gratitude are more joyful, more optimistic, more at peace. Not because their lives are perfect, but because they have trained themselves to see the good, even in imperfection. They don't wait for everything to be right before they choose to be thankful. They understand that gratitude is a daily practice, a mindset that must be cultivated intentionally. And the more they practice it, the more it becomes second nature. If you want to build an unbreakable mindset, gratitude must be a part of your daily routine. It has to become a habit, not just something you do occasionally. Because the way you think determines the way you experience life. And when you train your mind to focus on what's good, to find the blessings in every situation, to appreciate what you have instead of always chasing what's next, you unlock a level of strength and joy that nothing can take away.